The Buzznet. Rima is bored with Saturday cartoon, so she get up and walk into the kitchen. The counter is covered with baking seed, a side of sugar, and pistachios. We are going to bakery.
We are going to bake today. Rima asks after a week at school learning English. It's very good to speak Arabic. Tomorrow there will be a bake sale. Rima's mother explained. Bake sale? Rima asked. What's that? We refugees will bake our favorite sweet from home. Her mother says Americans will come to buy them. This last This time last year, when Rima was 8, home was a 10 among many other 10. The year before that, home was the side of the road and a storm tortoise bowl or stranger basement. It was where they happened to lay their head at night. When Rima was 6, home was held in the country of Syria. Home had a big window in the kitchen where black and white jailbirds came to roost it. It had a carpet in the living room that smelled of honey and flour. It had a bedroom with a perfect view of the moon. Now they live in an apartment in America, and her mother speaks in a Hershey's voice wherever she mentions Sharia. There have been two of them for as long as Rima could remember. Her dad has passed away when Rima was just a baby. The truth was that war came to Syria long before they left, and it had only gotten worse. They are never going back. There's nowhere to go back now. Rima joined me to America. Rima and her mother left Syria because of war. Since 2011, millions of Syrian families have fled their country and become refugees. Refugee. A refugee is a person who is forced to leave his or her country to seek safety in another country. The term comes from the word refugees, which means a safe place. The very thing that refugee in search of refugee usually leave behind their family and friends as well as their home. Her mother opened the refrigerator and pulls out a box of dope noodles. Rima wrapped some pistachios and began to chop them. They haven't baked together in forever, and they are making bird's nest baklava. When they are done, the pistachios will sit inside the dough, just like a little egg in a net. Rima began to hum an old song she loved from home. The next day, Bessel is crowded and noisy. Everywhere Rima turns, she sees the streets of childhood, and beyond them, a long line of family waiting. What if the American don't like Syrian baking? They ooh and ah toss bounties at the trees. What's a decor? They ask in English before trying to repeat the full name in Arabic. Rima thinks it's fun to teach someone else a new language for a change. Delicious, they said one by one after biting into the baklava, and Rima blushes with pride. Rima and her mother returned the next week, and the next. They personate baklava in the store of the bake sale. Rima thinks people can take the chores that she and her mother share in the kitchen. Choice and pieces after 3 years living as a refugees, never settled or safe enough to be together. One week, a boy named Andy from Rima's school stopped by her people with his family. As my house is Syria, first built net, just like the side out, just like the outside our kitchen window, Rima told him. When Annie handed her $3 bill, Rima said, "Ye lasmers." Sorry, she added. "Ye lasmers, ye lasmers" is how we say thank you in Syria. Yislamo. Fuck. Yelamot then says Andy lifting her baklava with green. Rima and Andy don't talk at school. He played during recess with the other boys, and Rima spent half Saturday learning English. But every week, Andy and his family returned to the Bexel. Each time, Andy asked Rima how to say something new in Arabic. "Hello, goodbye, and you're welcome." Rima said the words clearly and slowly. Andy accent is awful, but she knows not to tease. Rima doesn't like it. Rima doesn't like it when the kids at school tease her about her English. Her English. One day, Rima tell Auntie about how she was little. She was big pistachio straight from her grandparents' trees. "You must miss there," Andy says, and suddenly Rima's eyes fill with tears. And Sam her head. She ducked her head. Andy just smiled at us, a cat smile, everything. Afterward, as they back it up, Rima's mother says, "Who is that boy who always talks to you? A friend?" "No," Rima mumbled, "just a boy from school." That week during recess, Rima is reading on the bench when Andy tapped her on the shoulder. "I want to show you something," he says. He pointed to a wood behind the school, and the two talked toward them together. "Look," Andy said and pointed again. Rima gasps. There, in some blackberry bramble, is a bird's nest. The two of them look more closely. Inside the nest, six four perfect egg. "Wow," Rima breathed. "Eddie not. They really do look like your baklava," he whispered. "Eddie not. They really do look just like your baklava," he whispered. "I wonder if they will live close to home once they have." Rima says, "Or fly far away to somewhere else." Andy puts his hand in the pocket. "Rima," he says sadly, "I know you're sad to have left your first home behind, but I want you to know that here in your new home, you are my saddest." He looked at her. "Do you say that's right, saddest?" Rima grinned. Of course," she told him. His Arabic sounded as awful as ever, but she meant the words with all her heart. "There's no way wrong to say friend." Ôi, chị đang sách rồi ba. Sách con nít. Qua đi ba không ảo xong rồi sao? Islam. Chín câu.
You're amazing. A perfect score.